In a certain village located in the outskirts of the town, there was a small, unassuming food stall tucked away in a quiet alley. The stall was run by a mysterious woman named Josephine, who was known for her delicious and exotic dishes. People would come from all over the city to taste Josephine's food, which was said to have a magical quality to it. Some claimed that her dishes could cure ailments, while others said that they could grant wishes. Almost all the people always patronized her because of her cooking skills. Many women also went to her to learn how to cook as their husbands were no longer enjoying their homemade food. But there was something strange about Josephine's food. At a point, people who ate at her stall would often report feeling a sudden and intense sense of euphoria, as if they had been transported to a different world. At first, no one suspected anything out of the ordinary. They simply attributed the feeling to Josephine's exceptional cooking skills. But as time went on, people began to notice that the feeling would last for hours, even days, after eating at the stall. Some people reported having vivid and disturbing dreams, while others claimed to have seen strange and terrifying visions. And then there were those who simply disappeared, never to be seen again. A young lady who had special powers, named Ada, had always been fascinated by Mama Josephine's food. She had heard the rumors, but she didn't believe them. She was skeptic, and she didn't think that there was anything supernatural about Josephine's dishes. One day, Ada decided to visit the food stall and try some of her food. She ordered a plate of jollof rice and waited eagerly for it to arrive. As she took her first bite, Ada felt a sudden rush of pleasure. The flavors exploded in her mouth, and she felt like she was floating on air. But as the feeling began to wear off, Ada realized that something was wrong. She felt disoriented and confused, and she couldn't shake the feeling that she had been drugged. While she was eating, Josephine was busy staring at her from behind, her eyes filled with anger. "I want all her powers," Josephine muttered to herself. After Ada was done, she tried to leave the stall, but she found that she couldn't move. She was trapped, and she didn't know how to escape. Josephine was standing over her, a strange smile spreading across her face. "You shouldn't have come here," Josephine said, her voice low and menacing. "Now you'll have to pay the price." Ada was horrified. She realized that she had made a terrible mistake, and that she was now at the mercy of a woman who seemed to have supernatural powers. As the darkness closed in around her, Ada knew that she was in grave danger. She was trapped in a world of magic and terror, and she didn't know if she would ever be able to leave that place unharmed. Josephine's powers seemed to grow stronger by the day, and Ada found herself becoming more and more entranced. She was losing herself, bit by bit, and she didn't know how to stop it. As the days turned into weeks, Ada became a shadow of her former self. She was a slave to Josephine's will, forced to do her bidding without question. Ada's friends and family had been looking her, they had no idea of where she was, and they were not about to give up on her. They launched a desperate search for her, scouring the city from top to bottom. Finally, after weeks of searching, they found Ada. She was standing in Josephine's stall, her eyes glassy and unseeing. Josephine was standing over her, a triumphant smile spreading across her face. But Ada's friends and family were not afraid. They knew that they had to act fast, to break the spell that Josephine had cast over Ada. They fought bravely, using all of their strength and cunning to try and defeat the food seller. But the old woman was powerful, and she would not give up without a fight. In the end, it was Ada who found the strength to break free. She remembered the words of an old proverb, "The power of the mind is stronger than any magic." With newfound determination, Ada focused all of her energy on breaking the spell. She imagined herself free, imagined herself strong and powerful. And slowly but surely, the spell began to break. Josephine's powers began to wane too, and Ada felt herself becoming stronger and more confident. Finally, With one last burst of energy, Ada broke free from the spell. She stood tall, her eyes shining with a newfound sense of purpose. Josephine was defeated, her powers broken. And Ada was finally free to live her life as she chose. As they walked away from the stall, Ada's friends and family couldn't help but wonder what other secrets Josephine had been hiding. But Ada just smiled, knowing that she had finally found the strength to overcome any obstacle. The next day, Josephine's stall was found empty, and from that day, no one saw her again. The villagers were happy and lived in peace.